When I started this journey a little bit over a year ago of making YouTube videos, doing all this stuff, I never really thought that I would get here. Honestly, even 6 months ago, I still didn't think I'd be able to say these words that I'm about to say. But I'm officially a Google developer expert for Flutter and Dart. Now, in case you don't know what it means, let me explain a little bit about the Google Developer Experts program, and I'll kind of go into a little story about how I got here. So, a Google Developer Expert, or a GDE, is a highly experienced technology expert, influencer, or thought leader. So, it's basically just the top people representing a specific technology that get to become Google Developer Experts. It's like an acknowledgement by Google that you basically understand the specific topic you're talking about, and they like publicly promote you as an expert of it. So this program has a couple perks. I'll get some invitations to Google events like the Google I/O we're talking about. So maybe one of these years I'll actually be able to go there. We get access to some Google employees so that we could ask some questions and stuff like that. And I guess we get early access to some of the projects that they're working on as well. So yeah, that's what a GDE pretty much is. It's like Google acknowledging that you're an expert in the field, and then you get some more exposure to Google and what kind of stuff they're doing, things like that. So yeah, at the beginning of 2021, I set a goal for myself to try to be a GDE this year. I really didn't know if it was possible, but I figured I'd give it a shot. And here I am, I got it done. I'm officially a GDE. So I wanted to give a little story about how I did it, and maybe this will spark some interest for you, maybe to go the same path that I did. So this all started in January 2020. Actually, it all kind of started a little way before that, but the official online part, me releasing my first video on YouTube, started in January 2020. I decided to release that first video because, I don't know, I just didn't see there was that much Flutter content, and I learned so much stuff from YouTube, so I was like, it'd be nice to kind of give back a little bit. I was never expecting it to actually grow into what it has become now, or even to anybody to watch that first video. In fact, at the time, not many people did watch that first video, but then I decided to put out a video every single week, and I kept doing that. And over time, I was learning things about how to use a camera, even and other things like that. Slowly stepped up, learning one new thing for every video, whether it's thumbnail design and all that. And the biggest thing about all this is I picked topics that I didn't understand to make for the week after. So that means I had like a 2-week period to fully understand a topic and to be able to make a video about it. You've probably heard this saying that to really understand a topic, you need to be able to teach someone. And I think that's definitely true. Like I would sometimes have to stop mid video because I didn't understand why a specific thing was doing whatever, and then I had to do a lot of research to figure that out, and then only then continue the video. And also while learning, I had to draw out little graphs so I could show you guys how I learned and like try to explain it visually as well. I think that led to fully understanding the topics. So that's kind of like the technical aspect. That's how I became knowledgeable enough to become a GDE. Just iterating, learning new topics throughout these past a little bit over a year. But I was learning Flutter even before that, but definitely not as consistently as I did once I started this YouTube channel. My other big thing is to kind of be part of the community. My goal is never to really get as many subscribers as I can, although it's definitely nice. But the goal is to just try to help as many people as I can. That's why I set up a Discord channel, try to help people on there and find helpers that can help those people and things like that. The goal is to, help people start with this Flutter journey. I still definitely think Flutter is the future, and seems like with Fuchsia coming out now and Flutter running on Fuchsia, I think it's just going to become an even bigger part, and to help people transition to that and learn it is still the goal of this channel and still the goal of what I try to do. Man, I just realized we went on a little bit of a tangent. What was I trying to talk about? How I became a GDE. There we go. All right. So started the YouTube channel, grew it incrementally over time, learned new topics, got involved with Twitter, got involved with helping the community out. And then I guess that was noticed. I got recommended to become a GDE, and then the interview process. Let's go through that. So I actually have the interview process laid out here. So it's pretty transparent. So the first step is an application. I think you first got to be recommended by either a Google employee or a Google expert to get an application in the first place. But then once you fill out that application, it goes through the Google system, whatever, and then you have an interview with an existing GDE. And then afterwards, you got to interview with a Google employee. Both of these interviews are pretty similar. They ask you technical questions to make sure you actually understand what you're talking about, so that they don't hire some GDEs that don't know anything about Flutter or Dart. But for me, I guess it was relatively easy because everything's kind of public of like what I understand and stuff like that. So those weren't too bad for me. And then the same thing happened with the Google employee interviews. And it was actually pretty cool because I got to talk to one of them and I was actually asking him what types of state management he uses, and he recommends things that are very similar to what I recommend. So yeah, that's how I became a Google developer expert. In terms of what I'm trying to do, this doesn't change much. The goal is still to help people learn Flutter and help the Flutter community grow. Especially now with Agora, I got like a personal partnership with both Google and Agora. So now I'm excited to see where that goes. So yeah, I'm just excited to be a GDE. I definitely could have done it without you guys. It's definitely a big reason. You enjoying my videos, sharing them, watching them, stuff like that has brought me to this point where I'm at today. I'm eternally grateful for that. No chance I would have become a GDE without you. So thank you very much. And I'll see you next week.